Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you guys all out there, wherever you are on the globe, on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, or right there in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning here, and I'm glad to be back. Yes, a lot is taking place right now, a lot is happening, and I want to take you through a few things. What are the latest news on Chelsea front? Let's get started, all right? Okay, you see, our win on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon was our first away win. Chelsea's first away win since December. Yeah. It was an epic comeback from behind. At the time, most of us were worried when Chelsea was down. But luckily enough, we were able to hit back and won the game 2-1. Just as some of us predicted, just as I predicted right here on this channel. I pray that this will be the start of something spectacular moving forward to the end of the season. I tried to bring a preview of the entire game, but I think due to lack of time, I may not be able to give you all. But I want to hint on something. You see, how did Chelsea win the game in all? When you analyze the entire game, you can see clearly that the players worked their socks out of the norm. It wasn't about what exactly the coach told them or asked them to do. First half, they were playing to the system, but the second half, the players themselves took it upon, themselves and worked out to secure the win. That is not to say that Maresca had no hand. After all, he made the changes and he made the right changes at the right time. Quickly, let me take you through this. Chelsea lined up in the beginning of the game 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1 formation with a similar lineup last week against Ipswich. But with a center back pairing of Cowell and Chalobah this time around. With Rhys James at the center of the field. James and Cucurella both were playing in midfield. Cucurella actually inverted. Yes. And Neto and Noni also started a game together alongside them. Pedro Neto and Noni Madueke, they both started a game. Now, Fulham also lined up in a similar fashion. 4-2-3-1 of their own. Yes. Now, Chelsea immediately looked to press man-to-man in the game. But the question is, did that work out in the first half? No. Because Fulham was rotating their man-to-man. They also line up the same way Chelsea line up. But Fulham was more of rotational play. So that made it difficult for Chelsea to get hold of the ball. It was difficult for Chelsea to get hold of the ball in the first, especially when we are on the counter. When we want to attack, we press and we get the ball, we want to attack. The ball, we could not hold on with the ball. We're losing the ball in some instances. In some cases, our passes were not going through because Fulham tried to rotate, and each time they tried to rotate, they blocked our pass. Dear friend, you see, one challenge, the challenge that Chelsea kept having in the first half was that the players weren't applying themselves well enough to the system that Maresca wanted to play because it was too rigid for them. It was too rigid for them, and the intensity wasn't there. Fulham kept looking, for their main man in front, Jimenez, and they were trying to play direct to him. What could Chelsea do? Their entire first half was actually in a mess. Coming back to second half with the changes that was made, Sancho coming on, Malo Gusto coming on, and who else? Yes, Sancho, Malo Gusto. As they came on, the game, the system, everything changed. Yeah, Chelsea came on with Sancho, Malo Gusto, and who else came on that day? My memory. Okay, well, let's move forward. I'll try to recollect that. Now, when we made the changes in the second half, there was a new energy, new zeal, and the players had to go their own way. Yeah, Tariq George coming on. They brought in new, fresh, live, energy into the game. And then the game changed. Especially in the last 15 minutes. In the last 15 minutes, everything changed and everything seemed to be in our favor. That is what resulted in a goal. So kudos to the guys. We move on. Let's see what's going to happen this week, dear friend. Now, let's move to some other issues. I understand many people are complaining about Jackson's performance and Cole Palmer's performance. But hey, let me point out one thing too, especially about Cole Palmer. If not for the way Cole Palmer held on with the ball, which I said when I was live, the way he held on with the ball and turned around, swiftly turned around and gave that pass to Enzo Fernandez. Enzo wouldn't have be able to cross that ball to Pedro to score the winning goal. I remember vividly shouting whilst we were doing a watch along that Cole Palmer, release that ball quick. And indeed, he didn't waste time. He only turned around with the ball, turned and looked around, and swiftly passed the ball towards Enzo Fernandez at the right flank. By then, where Enzo Fernandez was the exact position where Pedro Neto plays from. But the switch position. That is why I said the player did not play at that moment according to plan. Enzo was then at the right side. Pedro now came to the center of the midfield. And he now crossed the ball to Pedro. Pedro now scored the winning goal. Guys, it is what it is. Coming to Jackson, you see, Jackson needs something that will spark him up. Right now, the player needs something that will spark him up. And Jackson needs time. He needs time. Trust me. The way I'm seeing it right now, Jackson actually needs patience. He is not a bad player, and he will never be a bad player. He's my boy. And I will not give up on him. I believe that with the win we had at Fulham, it will propel him to, energize him as an entire squad to come back live in our next games to come. Now, what am I saying is that he needs time. I want you to look at this. That is the statistics of Nicola Jackson right now compared to back then Didier Drogba. Drogba wouldn't be a Chelsea legend. Yes, Drogba wouldn't be a Chelsea legend if Jose Mourinho wasn't patient with him. Because right now, the statistics are in favor of Jackson. He's done far better in his first 2 seasons than Drogba did in his first 2 seasons with Chelsea. But Jose Mourinho was patient with Drogba. Because you could see clearly the character of the player, the attitude of the player, the hunger of the player to achieve great things. So guys, we need patience with Jackson to come good. I know next season we are going to be getting a striker. I'm worried right now, ladies and gentlemen. According to David Ornstein, Chelsea want to buy impact players. Players that will come on the pitch and will make an impact this summer. They are not going to buy prospect like we always think. No. The aim right now, the plan right now for next summer is that Chelsea are looking to buy impact players. Whether that will be a young player or older, but based on quality. Based on quality. So it's no longer going to be usual of buying prospects. And a player that can make an impact in the squad, instant impact, according to David Ornstein. He said, what will be your... Well, that's the question I will have to ask. What will be your ideal impact player you think Chelsea should buy? For me, my ideal impact player is Chelsea should buy in the summer. 2, Nico William, yes. And as a left winger. And Victor Osimhen. These two, they are players that I would love Chelsea if Chelsea can get them. Left winger, Nico Williams from Athletic Bilbao. Yeah, Athletic Bilbao. Nico Williams and Victor Osimhen. Those are the 2 players that I would love Chelsea to get for next season. Those are the 2 players. All right. I want to talk a little bit about our head coach before I let you guys go this morning for your breakfast. You see, the thing that I personally don't get with Enzo Maresca, or that is annoying me right now about our head coach Enzo Maresca recently, is that his arrogance is becoming too much. When I analyze the way he speaks, the way he acts, for instance, after the game, he did not work with the players to go and, to thank or to appreciate the traveling fans. And he said, it is the players that need it with the fans. You as a head coach, how many minutes will it take you to walk to the away fan area with your players and appreciate them? At least to bridge the gap, to connect with them at least for once. You walk out down the tunnel. And that did not just end it. Statement that he kept making in the last 2 press conferences that Chelsea had not been to the Champions League for the last 3 seasons. Chelsea has not been in a Champions League position for last 3 seasons. He said this about 2 or 3 times in press conferences. It's annoying. It's an arrogant behavior. Is he trying to tell us that he has done so much, he has achieved so much? You have not gotten anywhere yet. You need to tone down. You cannot tell us that you have achieved so much by just, taking Chelsea to second on the league table for 6 weeks, right? Then we drop to 4th. Then now we are 6th or 7th on the league table, and you want to brag about it. But okay, in the last 3 seasons also, or 2 seasons, Chelsea have never had the kind of quality player that you have right now. What about that? Dear friends, to buttress my point, I want to show you something. Look on your screen. That man, Claudio Ranieri, the legendary head coach who is now in charge of AS Roma. AS Roma coach was sacked around November, December, and he was employed. He didn't take these players for pre-season. He was not signing new players as Maresca was signed. But with his experience, Claudio Ranieri is an elder or an old man with well-respected CV. This is the kind of coaches that Chelsea need right now to stabilize the club, to bring the club back to the level where the away fans, the traveling fans, and everyone around the world will see Chelsea, will respect Chelsea. The kind of coach Chelsea need right now for resetting, to bring Chelsea back to that elite level, is Claudio Ranieri. Look at the statistics in his last games. 17 games non-beaten with AS Roma. AS Roma that were losing game. He took over and 17 games unbeaten. 5-0 win over Parma. 1-1 draw with Milan. 2-0 win over Lazio. 2-2 draw with Bologna. 3-1 win over Genoa. 2-1 win over Udinese. 1-1 draw with Napoli. Can you imagine? 1-0 win versus Venezia. 1-0 win versus Parma. 4-0 win over Monza. 2-1 win over Como. 1-0 win over Empoli. 1-0 win over Cagliari. 1-0 over Lecce. 1-1 draw with Juventus. 1-1 draw with Lazio. And a 1-0 win with Hellas Verona over the weekend. Look at the record. 17 non-beaten games. And what are you talking about? Maresca, you need to tone down. You have not achieved anything with Chelsea yet. The right man needed to rebuild this Chelsea squad is this man, Claudio Ranieri. Oh, he's a very good friend of Jose Mourinho. Yeah, this is the right man that Chelsea needs. Dear friends, let me just leave it here. I'll be back with more exclusives in the coming hours. I'll see you guys in the next one you see me. Shalom and peace.